Welcome back to more awkward angles and me parking where I'm not supposed to park. Obviously, last week we were super busy at the sales, running back and forth. We are now in the final days. So we sold a group yesterday and at the same time moved in a group. So now I have these 5 kids that I am here, and today we're just showing them to potential buyers and then just kind of, getting a gist. And this is where it starts kind of going boom, boom, boom. Is we moved in yesterday, we're gonna show today, and then we're gonna sell tomorrow, and then I am done. I would love to say I get to go home and rest, except for my days off are Saturday, Sunday, so I get to go right back to the farm. And I woke up this morning sick. We always joke that there is something called the Keeneland crud that you tend to get after the sale, and it's not like a surprise or anything. But obviously we have all this pea gravel and dust, and there's horses, and there's hay, and there's straw, and there's so many people, and so it's just dust and germs and all that shebang. So it's not a surprise when you get sick. But typically I have it for a couple days after, once we get back home. So typically the weekend that I get back is when I'm like, ugh. This time, no. This time, I woke up this morning and I immediately said, oh no. Because, yeah. Anyway, so this is going to be a long day today, I feel like, with a combination of me being sick, and I have a feeling it's going to be crazy busy. But yeah, so basically the plan is we're going to sell tomorrow, obviously do today, sell tomorrow, and then just go back to regular farm stuff, because we still have October horses that we have to get ready for, October, which is in 3 weeks-ish, give or take, 2, 3, something like that. I don't know, I've lost track. Time is not my best thing. Anyway, I'm going to change now, because I'm sure my guys would like to be fed. Potentially, maybe. I must have accidentally deleted my in-between video, so I'm redoing it. So the 5 horses that we brought in for this group were the Vacoma, who I didn't properly introduce you all to in the September video because he was elsewhere. I did kind of do a quick hello, but you didn't get a full long spiel on him. But Vacoma, Army Mule Colt, Munnings Colt, Constitution Filly, and the Jack Christopher. Let's go ahead and start with the Jack Christopher, because he was there for all of 3 seconds. So obviously there's a night watchman there when we are not around, right? So someone has eyes on these horses pretty much full time. The thing is typically that night watchman is also back and forth, but they typically have 2 barns, right? So they'll be in this barn and this barn, right? And there's other night watchmen typically in the area as well, because not every consignment uses the same night watch people. But regardless, typically there's someone around, but they obviously don't see every little minute thing. They're not glued to the stall, what you doing? And so we were not entirely sure what happened. No one, the night watch didn't say that anything fun happened or anything of that nature. But we do have a kind of a theory of what it might happen. So the Jack Christopher is the biggest, sweetest, easiest going angel baby, right? Like I have said before that this is the type of horse that would be a great kids hunter eventually because he's just that easygoing, right? Well, we got him out of the stall and we were giving him a bath, and it's kind of acting a little weird, and you kind of chalk it up at the time to, okay, maybe it's because new place. But once we started walking him, it became very evident, oh no, something else is going on. Kind of to describe what we were seeing is we water the gravel, right, to keep all the dust from like being everywhere. Well, in the patches where it had already dried, he was walking normal but kind of weak behind. But in the patches where it was wet, darker and like wet, he was acting as if he couldn't see the ground, like the ground was gone. He legitimately kind of like he would step like fully onto that spot and then immediately kind of go to his knees and like try to roll or kind of lay down. It was really odd. For me, seeing all this, my immediate thought was neurological, something happened. And so some things with any like neurological thing, sometimes they can have it for a while and you don't notice it, and then all of a sudden you introduce something stressful like a move and it will trigger it. So that was kind of my first thought process. As soon as I saw this, I said, oh no. Shit. Right? And so that was kind of my first reaction. Call the vet to look him over. Well, actually, we went ahead and scratched him for the sale immediately, right? Scratched him for the sale and called the vet, and we said, this horse is headed back to the farm. Can you meet him there and look at him? Something's not right. And we describe his symptoms, right? He's acting very weak behind, and he's acting kind of neurological, right? And my father originally he was kind of just watching the way he was walking. I wonder if he messed up, like fractured a tibia, right? Like up high. Because he was walking very weird. And I was like, I mean, maybe, but he's acting neuro. That was my whole thing. Hey, debacle. The cat is on top of my... Do you want in? Anyway, so they went and met the horse. They did x-rays. They didn't find any new fracture or anything, but they kind of agree that, hey, something's not right. Started him on, it's the Marquis, which is an EPM medication. And then we also immediately had the chiropractor out. You know what? Because life. Because also, when we are saying they're acting neuro, it doesn't necessarily always mean like EPM or something of that nature. It could mean like a pinched nerve or like, anything compromising to the nervous system, right? And so chiropractor went out and they immediately were like, you have like 2 or 3 pinched nerves in weird spots, like up near the pole and the neck. And you also have something else going on behind. I think whatever's going on behind is different than the other issue. So you got 2 issues. So he said, okay, so we kind of think maybe he laid in his stall that night at one point and maybe got casted really good, and in the process of him maybe panicking, which would kind of surprise me because he's, again, such a big, quiet, calm horse. But like maybe he just got into a pickle and panicked and worked himself up and injured himself trying to get back up, right? So that's kind of the thought process. Maybe he casted himself, and that's kind of when he pinched the nerve and wrecked himself behind. And so, he automatically scratched himself in the sale. Like we can't sell something like that. It's just, you can't. Hi, you were very friendly this morning. And so scratched him from the sale. Mind you, when I'm actually recording this bit, because I deleted my other one, it's been 30 days, give or take. He's doing so much better. He's walking better. He's had a couple chiro appointments. He's going out normally. They said that, when he first kind of came, he kind of almost was like a little drunk man behind. And now, like, he's good. He's straightening out. And so we'll reevaluate him in like another 30, 60 days and kind of make a decision on whether or not he's going to be suitable to ride or not. Just kind of, I don't know. We're going to figure it out. But yeah. So honestly, sometimes when you go to these sales, it's just a thing sometimes. I think it was a couple years ago, we kind of had another incident where, again, perfectly normal, happy, healthy horse, took her to the sale, and all of a sudden she was acting neurological, right? Like, I mean, really fast. We took her to the vet clinic. They did a spinal tap on her, and they're like, no, she's fine. And obviously, they thought we were delusional when we took her to the vet clinic because we gave her all the symptoms. And, like, we had 3 vets there looking at this horse thinking, like, what the hell happened? Anyway, because that's how concerned we were about her. So, 3 vets all looking at her, and they're all said the same thing. You need to go to the clinic. Did a spinal tap on her. Did the, direct exam to see, like, what on earth is going on. They're like, the vets there were like, no, she's fine. She's doing great. And sure enough, everything came back negative. They took her back home, and an hour after they brought her home, I get a video of her, like, running around and playing in her field. And I was like, thanks. So yeah, I don't know, sometimes some horses just don't handle that big move well, but I don't know, it was a thing. Anyway, we were slammed. We were slammed. So I was sick when I was filming that, and I ended up walking away with an 102 fever, and I literally went home. I never ate that day because I felt so bad. I went home and crashed. Like, I did not move. I died. We were slammed. We also had a significant amount of vets early. Oh goodness, already. Definitely we had a lot of all shows, which was to be expected. We did have, it was more popular for the Vacoma and the Army Mule. We knew that those 2 were going to be like the pick of the litter for a lot of people just because they look fast. Vacoma is very popular right now. The one we had was a later foal, so slightly immature. I wonder if I can safely do this. Okay, yeah, we're good. It's really dark when I start these videos now. Like, it's so dark. So he's a little bit later foal, immature, but like, he's just all there, right? Like, as he matures and grows up, he's going to strengthen out and get stronger. And a lot of people recognize that. So yeah, we were slammed. We were busy, and the Jack Christopher tried to kill himself, and he's doing better now. So, anyway, I think that's all I have. It was a thing. Anyway, on to what I forgot to show you all.
Earnings. 800, 1, 1, 20, 30, 20, 30, 30, 40, 30, now 40. 40, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 70, now 80. Hit Mike's in 70, 80, 70, 80, 90, down up front, 80, 90. Hit 90, now 1, 1, 10, 20, 120. 820, 30, 130, 30, 30, 20, now 30. Hit 130, 20, 130, 20, 130, 130, 130, 40, 140, 50, 850, 60, 70, 170, 170, 870, 170, 77, 170, 870, 170,000, 70, 70, 170, 90, hit 180, Mitchell's in 70, on the back, 180, 180, hit 180, up back there, 180, 2, down 2, down 10, hit 210, 200, how do you send 2, Mitchell 200,000.
Hip number 21. She made over $356,000 in that first dam, a half sister to the Canadian champion Summer Sunday.
The 800s, everything bond, 20, $20,000 down 10 down 20, down 25, thank you down 10, hit 5, 10, $5,000 down 10, Munning Scope 10, 10, 10, need to get 10 down 10, bet me 10, and 10, 10, thank you down 15, 20, down 20, down 20, down 20, 17, need to get 17, 20, I'm at 17 up here, gonna be 20 down 2, you're out of here, down 25, down 7, hit $25,000 down, $27,000 down, 7, 7, to get $30,000, 5, 5, to get 35, to get 35, 35, 35, hit 30s on 1, 35, 35, 40, and 35 to get $40,000 down, 40, down 40, down 35 to the bear, down 40, down 40, down 40, down $40,000 to the bit, down 40, and 35 to get $40,000 down, 740, and 40 down 2, down 42, 2, I got already had that, you get to be 5, down 45, 45, 45, hit 42, 45 to the bit, to get 45, 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 to get 5 now, and $45,000 bids in the back now, 45, 45, 2 bid 5, now 42, 45 to bid, to get 2, to get 5 and a half, in the back, 42,000.
Hip number 2211. Grade 3 winner.
Haven't carried down, down 30, but to get 30, but to get 20, but to bury, but to get 10 here, but to get 10, 10, 10, 20 here, 20, down 20, down 20, but to bury down, to get 20, let's say 20, here, but to get down 20, 30, 30, 40, but to get down 30, up front, down 40, hit 30, but to bury down, to get 40 down there, but to get 40 here, but to get 30, but to get 5, but to get 5, but to get 5, 5, 5, 5, down 40, here, but to get down 5, 50, gotta be 50 EC, but to get 50, but to get 50, but to get down 50 on DC, down 5 back there, hit 50 down to get 5, 5, 5, but to 50 down to get 5, but to get 5, but to get 5, buddies up front, 50 down 5, but to 50 down to get 5, 5, 5, 50 down to get down 5, now 60, you're on the front, 55 down 60, what's this? 55 down to get down 60, but to get 5, but to get 60, but to get 5, bunnies in the back here, but to get 5, you're on the front, but to get 60, but to get 5 down, 60, but to get 5, 60, but to get 5, 60, but to get 5, 60, but to get down to get 5, 5, 70, but to get down, okay, but to get down 65, but to get 70, but to get 70, but to get 70, but to bury down to get down 5, now but to come 75, nope, 70's in the back, 75, 75, 75, but to bury down to get 5, 5, 75, here's 70, but to get 5, 70, but to get 5, but to count, bargain to back, 70,000.
Hip 2290.
Hit $15,000. Everybody get 15. I'm 15. I'm 15. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 10. They're down 10. 10. 10 to bed. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 5. We're going to get 10 to bed. We're going to get 10. 15. Hit $15,000. Now they're down 15. 15. 15. 15. 10. 10. 10. We're going to try 15. Hit 15. They get down 20. Down 15 to bed. We're going to get 20. We're going to get 20. We're going to get 20. We're going to get 15. They're down 20. Hit 15. $20,000 down. 15. We're going to get 25. 25. Yeah, Mike. 20's online. 25. Hit 20's bid on Justin online. 25. $25,000 down. 25 to bid. 25. 25. 20 bid. 25. 25. 25. That's right. Hit $25,000 down. 20 down. 5. 5. Everybody else a little down. 20 bid. We're going to buy. We're going to get 5 down. 25. 25 and a half. Justin. 20,000.
Hip number 2411.
It's now Tuesday. We are officially done with the September sale. Listen, this was not like it was not a phenomenal sale. We'll put it that way. So I definitely feel, and this is for us all chit-chatting, because obviously we're slammed half the time, right? And so we don't have the opportunity to wander away from the barn. But obviously there's people who's constantly coming to look at horses, and so they're the ones wandering, and they have the ability to pass us along some news. And I was talking to a couple people once it kind of cooled off, and vets were coming around, and some people were saying that this is the most they've ever shown horses. Like, there just seemed to be a lot of people there, and I was like, yeah, I agree. And then I was talking to the vets in particular, and I told them, I was like, I feel like I have seen you all so much this sale, like a little bit abnormally so. And they said this is definitely the most vetting we've ever done for a sale. Like, and that's counting the 2-year-old sale. Like, obviously in the 2-year-old sale, that's a whole different ballgame that we don't mess with. But like, I was like, I have seen you all so much. And they're like, yeah, no, we have been like slammed. And I told them specifically, I was like, I feel like I've seen you all do more ultrasounds than anything. And they're like, yes. They're like, the amount of ultrasound requests have been insane. Anyway, but we also found, it's not okay, it's not like a perfect correlation, but we did notice that the horses we had a ton of vet work on didn't, like, because here's the thing, when we are doing all this and how we make our decision on what the reserve is going to be, we have I'm sorry, I'm like really congested, I'm still sick, but we have an idea in mind before we leave the farm of kind of how much we would like for certain horses, right? Based off of the stud feet, based off of how the horses look, just based off of general, we kind of have an idea, and that is typically a little bit before the x-rays. Now, once we get the x-rays, we might have to change some things around, make some decisions, yada, yada, yada. I'm like doing a drive-by of the farm right now. I haven't been at the farm. I've been at the farm, but normally I come at night instead of the morning. So I'm doing a drive-by, and I couldn't count. Anyway, normally, I lost track. Oh yeah, normally the more action you have on a horse. Oh, wait, no. I lost where. Okay, so after the so we have an idea of how much we want before leaving the farm when we have the x-rays and all that stuff, right? We get to the sales and we kind of get an idea of how popular they are and things of that nature. And after we kind of, like, typically day of the sale, we have an idea about what that horse should bring, right? Now, obviously, sometimes we're off and sometimes we're right on the money and sometimes we way underestimate it. But, like, we kind of have a general idea of who's potentially interested in the horse. We know how many vets have looked at the vetting, how many vets have passed the vetting, things of that nature, right? We have, like, an idea. And so then we'll put a number that we are comfortable with before, heading down to the ring and trying to reach that reserve. Historically, in the past, if you have a horse with a crap ton of vetting, it's typically a good thing. It means you have a lot of potential buyers. Obviously, you do play the game of, okay, are they going to show up and how deep are their pockets? How far are they willing to go? But typically, when you have that many vets on a horse, you're good, right? Like, you know the horse is likely going to sell really well. Well, in this case, it seems to have gone the opposite way. And the fact, if I had a horse with a lot of vetting, we barely met the reserve. Is kind of how that ended up happening. Oh my God, I almost dropped you all. But if we had a horse that had like a vetting, just like a single one, that horse brought almost like double the expectations. And then I'm fine, you grouchy thing. And then on horses, we had, oh my God, I dropped you all again. I'm trying to balance you on my steering wheel. But then again, on horses, we had like no vetting on. It wasn't that big of a surprise that they kind of, barely got sold because we knew we didn't really have anyone on them and we were going to have to sell them in the back ring. What's the back ring? The back ring is that fun little place where you see just everybody watching the horses walk in a circle. These are guys who typically will just do their buying and their homework in the back, right? And so typically those guys aren't going to spend more than like $50,000. So, you kind of have a limit at that aspect. So yeah, anyway, who sold, what sold, how to go. The Vacoma home run. I was pretty confident about that kid. I will say, I hate, so that horse, I never introduced, I kind of showed you all him on a random day. I didn't introduce him to you all on the September sale yearlings because we did not prep him. So we foaled him out, he had him as a baby, and then he meandered on his way back to his owner's house, and his owner is the one who sale prepped him, but they're like, they didn't have a sale consignment, so they still needed someone to sell him, and so we sold him. I will say, because of all that, they used a different vet for everything, and so this is what I hate, is that we were having issues with the vetting in the repository. So we were getting people coming over to us, asking us questions about the vetting in the repository because it wasn't working. And I was like, I don't know what to tell you all. And then to add to it, I just don't know the horse's history as well as I know my other kids. So they sometimes will ask the questions and I have to defer to the owner. And I'm like, I feel so bad. And then also again with the vet just didn't. Anyway, regardless, I hate having, I just prefer to use all the same vet because it's so much easier. He just tells me when I need to know. But he sold really well. He sold for $200. I had kind of thought somewhere between the realm of $150, $175. He was very busy, very, very busy. And because we had issues with his vetting in the repository, we had a lot of vets come by to redo them because, anyway. Who was next? Then we had the Munnings. Now, here's the thing with the Munnings. I've talked about this before. I don't really like Munnings. Munnings, they kind of all look the same. They look like hunter jumpers. They look like squares. I don't like them. This kid was just really lazy, laid back, slow. And there was nothing wrong with him. He was correct in everything. He has a brother who's a stakes winner. He sold for $42,000. Now, that seems really low, especially considering the stud fee at the time was $85,000. It's because you were correct. That is low. For he had not a pimple on him. His x-rays perfectly clean. Throat great. All that stuff. So why did he sell so low? There was generally just no action on him. I truly don't think a lot of people are interested in Munnings as a sale horse. The issue with that horse is that they'll have him at like $35,000, and then all of a sudden he has one stakes winner and they jump him to $85,000, and then nothing happens for 2 years and they drop him back down, and then he gets another stakes winner and they jump him back up. And so he comes in waves when it comes, but like he's always been steady, reliable on the track, but like it's just, I don't know, I don't understand. I don't like breeding to the horse personally. It's just, but part of it is because we've never had any luck with him at the sale. Anyway, so that little spiel, he sold. And it was, but they definitely technically took a loss on him, but the owner had already made up for it with the other ones ahead of time, so they weren't really sad about it. Who was next? The Arby Mule. This one disappointed me. I'm gonna be really blunt. This one really disappointed me. He was very busy. I had all the right people on him. He had so much vetting. So much freaking vetting. He only sold for $70,000.
The reason I'm disappointed, we were asking 50, but realistically, I was thinking he was going to be somewhere in the realm of 150 to 175. I don't know what happened. I mean, when I tell you, I had so many people on this horse. And we got down there, and it was like nobody who was interested in the horse was there. Like, they were all just gone. So they could have already bought all their horses, because this is another horse, completely clean x-rays, not a pimple on him, good throat, correct, everything. Looks like a quarter horse. So I don't know if they just already met their quota and bought all the horses they need to, or they ran out of money, or what. But all I know is I went from feeling pretty confident I was going to have close to 150 to we told him for 70. So that sucked. Lastly, and leastly, is the Constitution filly. I'll admit, I never liked her. Like, she was kind of coming into her own, but there was something about her I didn't like, right? And I think I mentioned this, but she was definitely kind of just coming together at the right point, and then she got to the sale grounds and tried to kill herself. She ran into a wall, we think, I don't know, and she got a little hematoma on her shoulder, and so people were like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? I'm like, it looks like, you know those cone bras? That's what she looked like. She had a cone, a boob cone. And then the day before, the day of, I guess she got casted or something in her stall. So I had to sweat like her upper leg, because I guess she got stuck because there was a mark and everything. And I was just like, are you kidding me? And it was all swollen. So she tried to kill herself at the sale, basically. She just didn't want to leave. And my voice is very quickly dying. And so, granted, again, luckily this is one the owner already had a good sale and had already met his money, what his goal was. And so we kind of just let her go down the road and sold her for 20. That was a really expensive stud fee that we sold for 20, but it is what it is. I didn't like her. I'll be blunt. She's not something I would have spent money on. There's just something I didn't like about her. And, I could be wrong. She could turn around, mature, and be a fabulous racehorse. I just didn't like her. Anyway, we're back to farm stuff now. I can't wait to take a day off. I haven't had a day off in 2-3 weeks. I feel sick and miserable and disappointed. I don't know. I'm definitely, my takeaway from this sale, I can ramble about this later. They're probably like, why is she in her truck talking to herself? It's because I have nothing better to do. I don't want to get out. But I can ramble more about my thoughts of the sale. But I feel like overall my takeaway is that I'm kind of wondering if this same vibe carries on to October. If I'm gonna end up, because currently I have 2 horses I'm keeping for the sale for racing, right? I have a gift box out of Jasmine, and then from my understanding, we're keeping Ruben's Country House, from my understanding. Obviously that one I only own a leg on, so it is what it is. But I'm wondering if I'm gonna I have 2 headed to October. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get stuck with them, or if, I hate just giving them away. That pisses me off to no end. But sometimes you have to. There's something that's changing in November that I can discuss later that will change my financial stability a little bit. So I'm wondering if it's just, if I just bite the bullet and just take them out of the sale and not, but at the same time, if you take them out of the sale, if we took them to the sale, what if they surprise me? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm wondering if I'm going to get stuck with 4 racehorses next year, or if I'm actually going to be able to sell at least one. It's kind of the vibe right now. Anyway, I'm going to go clean stalls now. I've wasted enough time. Oh my goodness. Listen, these guys saw the hot walker when I was gone. The boys kept him on, right? You would not think that. Goodness, it's only, I've been gone for a week and a half, 2 weeks at this point, and they're all, specifically these 2 over here, just, goodness, yeah, it's dusty, I know, I got the water going, they didn't spray while I was gone, which is fine, but these 2 in particular, again, they've been on the hot walker since I've been gone, right? The boys have been keeping them on a schedule. Likely, it's probably not the exact same schedule I had. And so I don't know if they were going slower or faster than they were supposed to. You know, my father came over and told them what number to put them on. But typically, I honestly just play it by ear. But they definitely act like they've been on vacation. So I'm wondering if they truly got a proper workout. Only him, he don't care. Goodness, I know it's that time of year. Me too. You can hear it in my nose. It's Wednesday. I didn't tell you my spiel of what the plan was for the week, but admittedly, goodness, at the beginning of the week we were at the sales and I was just trying to survive, and I don't really think I did. It's fine. Anyway, obviously the main goal for the whole week, the past couple weeks, has been, September, October horses. Now it's kind of shifted to October yearlings. We have about 3 to 4 weeks before the October sale because it's toward the end of October, and it gets really hectic from there on because obviously we have a month to October, right? But once we have the October sales, we almost immediately go into the Breeders' Cup and then turn around and come to the November sales. And November sales, there's 2 sales and they're back to back. And then after November sales is obviously when we're starting to do the during the November sales really is when we start doing the discussion of who are we going to breed our mares to, right? And then after we finally get all that sorted out, we have like December, and then it's like finally like a month of like, except for it's not going to be a month of, especially because things are changing. And I still haven't figured out how exactly I'm going to do that. How I'm going to continue doing the videos with the change that's about to happen. It's fine. I'll figure it out. But yeah, so then we'll, and then foaling season's here. So it gets kind of hectic and crazy. It's fine. Anyway, the goal for this week, obviously we're focusing on October horses, but typically the way we do it is we wait to wean until after the September sales. And I know some of you are like, you have January babies. You haven't weaned? No, we have not. I'm not gonna lie though, we accidentally discovered this. I'm saying it's accidentally. There was one year where we had so many freaking yearlings at the sale that we could not wean until the sale finished because we just did not have the room. And we waited till after the September sale, and then we weaned, and it was the easiest weaning we ever had to do. And so ever since then, we just wait till after the September sale, because now granted, typically we would have weaned in the past in we'll do in sections. But typically we'll wean them in July, August, right? But at least the older ones, right? The younger ones would wait. But by waiting till September, at that point, everyone's pretty much started self-weaning. So my older kids, they're not with mom at this point. They're all in a group gossiping, and mom is just off in the center. They don't care. And then the younger ones are also starting to get pretty damn independent. So it's not it's just whatever at this point. And so it's just honestly easier to wean at that stage because they've kind of self-weaned. And so we just wait till September. And it's just easier because you have a little bit of extra room to stick just a few here and there, which we kind of need right now because we've been in a drought. So I'm low on grass everywhere. We've been feeding hay outside, right? We're low on grass everywhere. So yeah, that's the plan for this week, is we're going to obviously focus on October horses and then start thinking about weaning this week. And then also we're going to move around some of these mares and babies. I have a few of them that are going to the November sale. Right, phenomenal. So, obviously the ones that are going to the November sale, those kids are about to start entering sale prep. Maybe not this week. More think about a week or two. Obviously, once they wean, we want them to settle down, relax, get into a routine. And then we're going to change the routine just a smidge by getting them in November sale prep. November sale prep is definitely a little bit different than the yearling sale prep because you don't really have to do much. A lot of it's mainly just grooming and feeding. We will hand walk the babies a little bit just to get them used to it because they're not used to, they're used to being handled, they're used to being walked, but they're not used to consistent walking like they're going to be doing at the sale. So we just kind of get them used to it and things of that nature. Mares, you don't have to do anything. I don't care. They're easy. So yeah, that's the plan. I think. Hopefully. I wish I could go take a nap, but I gotta go clean stalls.
With the exception of her. If you remember the Colts, I had said yesterday, I was like, well, the Colts are acting like they had a whole 2 weeks off. When, you know, technically everyone else they were still getting worked, right? I obviously just don't know if it was the same level that I work them at. I just know. They were. Anyway, the Phillies, obviously, don't seem to care as much. Let me tell you, this Philly is kind of a pain from time to time. She can just, it's just in the mornings. It's just in the mornings where she just doesn't want to cooperate with the team. She goes, you want to catch me and bring me in? No. You want me to walk in a straight line? No. We all just vibing? Yes, love it. He's also vibing. I have to, listen, one of my, you know how people have like the little thing, they're like, oh, you always say that. Mine's always, I have to laugh in anyways. I've been trying to train myself not to consistently say it. It fails. Besides all that, obviously when I'm at the sale, technically I can bring the dogs to the sale and it's fine, but I don't want to bring them, especially sale days, just because it gets hectic and crazy and, you know, anyway, but he doesn't really care, right? He's satisfied just staying at home. And obviously we're back now on a regular schedule and he's just vibing. Where's Crackhead? Oh, he's all the way over there. He, on the other hand, is so happy to be back to work. His real mom technically was walking him, and I was taking him out when I would get back home. Hi. But he's just like, finally, my routine. I get to wander, I get to be free. Listen, I'm still trying to, me and your mom are arguing because we have decisions to make. It's not even, it's just, she's so stupid. Listen, his mother is my sister. Not the brightest individual. This is not a dog you get when you live in an apartment, okay? It's just not. These are very high energy dogs. She just thinks that she can walk him like once or twice a day and it'll be fine, and that's not the case. And I'm genuinely curious how this argument is going to end up playing out, because we only have like, what, a month and a half, 2 more months until we have to figure out the solution, something like that. Anyways, she's on her I'm fine, I can do it bitch fit right now. I'm curious to see how much longer it's gonna last. Isn't that right? Ain't that right? He goes, don't talk shit about me. Of course I'm not talking shit about you. I'm talking shit about your mother. Pretty sure that's fair game. Look at him. Thank you. You actually were not my original problem. You were. You're too big for this shit. You could actually break something. Like my door. Listen. I love wood. Wood aesthetically, for me, is just very pleasing, in my opinion, when you want to build things. Goodness. Are you okay? But unfortunately, wood warps over time. And so this door has been just a battle because it's uneven on the latch now. And I've had it happen twice now where like somebody kicks it just right and it pops open. And somebody today is feeling well, honestly, it wasn't him earlier. He's too little to do anything. It's like, that's a you thing. It was you. And you weren't big enough to just pop it and break it. Good God, he's huge.
It's Saturday now. Admittedly, I didn't film much once we got back from the sale. Really nothing crazy happened in the morning. I put horses in the hot walker, and I did say we were thinking about weaning that week. We ended up not. We're hopefully going to do it at the beginning of next week, is the new plan. But part of what I was doing was running around like a chicken without a head, trying to get my physical license rebooted. So for those of you who don't know, if you have racehorses and if at any point you're going to be on the backside, meaning you're an owner, trainer, assistant trainer, exercise rider, groom, hot walker, anything, like if you're doing anything, you have to be licensed, right? And typically, depending how you do it, they're going to give you a physical copy, right? Except for I cheat and I use an organization and they just do it for me, okay? And it's wonderful, except for downside is they don't give you a physical copy for each state. And the only place that ever actually requests my physical copy is Churchill. And we got invited. There was a horse that we had bred and sold, and he's running in a stake race this weekend, and the owners invited us over. And so we were like, heck yeah. And then I realized, I was like, oh, if we're going to Churchill, they always check my identification every single time without fail. But I'd say I should probably get my updated physical copy. I went to 4 different places in a span of 3 days trying to get that shit done. And because of the sales and just bad timing, I couldn't get it done. But that's basically what I did for the last 4 days. So I'm going to see. I can technically just go up to Churchill and get it done like a little bit earlier. And it'll be fine. But definitely I was like, are you kidding? That's what I've been doing. And I had to get my driver's license done because I needed to get the real ID because I have to be on a plane next month, at the end of next month, beginning of November. So I was like, shoot. And so I did that too. And so really the past couple of days has just been licensing things. And then to add to it, it's Saturday. We got the text message that said, hey, we're working. These are the horses we're working today. And that included Mikasa. So I was going to go watch Mikasa work this morning. And so because we've been at the sale, it's so chaotic when we're at the sale that like typically when it comes to coming home, I just take off my clothes, throw them on the floor and go to bed. Like I take a shower and go to bed. Like that is it. I don't have the energy for anything else. And so admittedly, my room gets dirty. My bathroom gets dirty because my sister has like I'm the one who dyes my hair, but my sister has this really weird hair and skincare routine, and it messes up the sink and she does not clean it. And so like everything's dirty. And I was like, oh, I'll wait and just start cleaning, and then when he calls me, we'll head over. My dad forgot and ran out the door and never let me know, so I missed the workouts this morning because I was like, oh, he's in the bathroom, he'll let me know when he's ready. No, he did not. He just ran out the door. So I missed the workouts, but we are headed to Churchill, so I'm gonna, I guess, continue cleaning my room. It's a disaster. It's so bad, and I have to technically I'm gonna cheat because might as well also start getting things ready just to make things easier down the road, by organizing and putting things in bags and shit, because things are happening in the next like month. So I guess that's that. Now you're slightly caught up. I'm gonna go to Churchill, and then I'm gonna wrap up this week's vlog, and then ironically we're gonna go back to Churchill on Sunday, so we're just gonna go back there, but that's gonna be the start of next week. But today's the last day. We're going to wrap up by going to Churchill. I might jump in a little bit after just to do final talks about the sales, because I think I've been going through, so admittedly I record everything and then edit a little bit like the following week. And so I might need to, I think I accidentally missed a day when I was doing the recording about how one group of horses did and things of that nature. So I think I need to fix that. But yeah, I'll do final talks about the sales and things of that nature once I get back from Churchill.
They're in the gate, and they're off. And it was an uneventful start for the three of them, Chunk of Gold and Brother Kenny. The two of them will step out together as Run Quiet, Run Fast backs off early, already about 4 or 5 lengths off these top two. A circuit to go. Brother Kenny down inside grabs a narrow lead for the run of the clubhouse turn. Jareth Loveberry trying to back off just a bit with Chunk of Gold. They're nonetheless right alongside each other. Run Quiet, Run Fast. Hopes the top two run faster to set it up for him. Nonetheless, 9 lengths off the lead as they work their way to the backstretch. And that's not a fast quarter at all. In fact, it's fairly moderate, 23-3 for an opening quarter mile. So Brother Kenny leads, and Chunk of Gold is glued to him, right on his flank at the 5 furlong marker. So Brother Kenny, Jose Ortiz still leads, and Chunk of Gold continues to stalk in second. Run Quiet, Run Fast is now a little bit closer, only about 5 lengths behind with 4 furlongs remaining now. The opening half mile was 47 3/5 seconds. They're on the far turn, Brother Kenny and Chunk of Gold. 1, 2, 3 furlongs out. Brother Kenny giving a bit of a nudge there and gets away from Chunk of Gold, and now it's 2. Brother Kenny opening up on Chunk of Gold at the quarter pole. Chunk of Gold is going to angle toward the inside as they hit the top of the stretch. Brother Kenny set down for the drive now. Chunk of Gold continues to fight on, is still inside, and now it's going to go back outside. Chunk of Gold is not giving up. Brother Kenny needs the wire. Chunk of Gold lifting once again. Time running out. Brother Kenny, Chunk of Gold. Brother Kenny upsets Chunk of Gold.
Apparently, I have either just stopped recording my intro or an ending at some point during that week, which is a possibility, or I'm just gotten into a really bad habit of just deleting things without double checking whenever my phone is like, you are a fool. Could be that one. Anyway, overall, Churchill was fun. The sister ran first. I didn't include that race, but she was 4th, which was her first time back after a break, so she ran extremely well considering how long of a break she's had, and that she traveled to a new track and everything, blah blah blah. They were optimistic. We were talking to them. Originally, they were saying they were hoping to run her at Keeneland, but Keeneland closes today. So I have a feeling either they're going to see her at Churchill or they're going to take her back to Oaklawn because they like running her at Oaklawn. I don't know why they were up here to begin with. Anyway, so yeah, she did really well for her first time back. And then the brother he won the stake. Granted, it was a 3-horse field. But honestly, when it comes to those those really, really short fields, it's kind of more of a mental game more than anything, because there's only so many of you, and you really kind of have to play it safe. You know, like you can't just you are the pace, and you can't let the pace get too far out in front. And all it's more mental than anything. And the jockey obviously did a really good job. I always joke, an Ortiz pisses me off once a week. Hopefully it wasn't this Ortiz, and he won, so. But yeah, so basically, Churchill was great and awesome. And hopefully I'm currently playing catch up, because we were at the October, by the time I'm filming this, we were at the October sale. We're about to head over to Breeders' Cup, so I'm playing a lot of catch up. I'm hopefully gonna catch up. I'm really behind. Anyway, I will see you all next time, but we're gonna go to Churchill once again for the next one.